Hey y'all, what's up? JamiThatsMe here. Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another quick chat. Okay, so today on the quick chat, we have a few things that we need to get into. But before we get into it, make sure that you guys are indeed liking up the video. Okay, make sure that you guys are liking up the video, supporting the channel by making sure that you guys subscribe to the channel. All right. Now we got a few things on our list. Of course, I want to talk about Kelly Rowland and her having this interview and where they are today as far as Destiny's Child's reunion is concerned. We'll touch on Blueface real briefly because, girl, whatever, honey. Got to talk a bit about Dwight Howard. I don't know all the details, but I'm hoping to get into the details with y'all so we can find out, girl, what the hell is really going on over there with Dwight. Where I feel like this has been brewing for some time now. Like, I feel like the block has been really hot when it comes to Dwight, like the past week, but the block had been hot for a few months now, maybe even a year. Okay, with different allegations that were coming out about him. So, listen, girl, what Melody said, where there's smoke there's fire, honey. So this is real interesting, Mr. Howard. We also got to talk about this clip that I came across with Yandy and Mendeecees and the daughter that Yandy adopted by the name of Infinity. And I'm gonna get into that more, and then I'm gonna do like a comparison to Sherri Shepherd because there's just a few things that I want to talk about. Okay, so again, as you come in the video, be sure to like the video, all that great jazz. First of all, I have to say rest in peace to these legends. This is so sad, y'all. We lost Matthew Perry over the weekend. We ended up losing Richard Roundtree. I do believe it's his name, Richard Roundtree. We lost him last week. And not too long ago, in between the passing of Richard Roundtree and Matthew Perry, we also lost Richard Mall. Okay, I hope that's how you say the last name. But yes, I remember these guys acting from like way back in the day. And I think their careers has been like strong, probably around the 70s and beyond. You know what I'm saying? Of course, Matthew is about the youngest. So his career would have started much later than those guys, but it's really sad. I believe that Mr. Roundtree was battling some type of pancreatic cancer. Richard Mall, we're still not sure about how he passed. He passed at the age of 80. And then also we have Matthew Perry, who we just learned passed away from an apparent drowning at his home in his jacuzzi. So we really don't even know like what all really was going on with Matthew, because we'll have to find those details out later, but they're saying that no drugs or anything was involved. We do know that Matthew has had a history with drugs in the past, but they're saying they found no drugs when they did go back to the house to do another check and continue to investigate. What they did learn was that there were some prescriptions and some anti depressants, anti-anxiety medications and stuff. So there were things that he had that was prescribed to him, but nothing like illegal, right? Because Matthew did do a book last year where he kind of opened up and talked about like his opioid addiction or something, and it was really crazy because he opened up and talks about how his colon ended up bursting because he had like an opioid overdose or something. So this man was in a hospital for I don't know how long. Whew, he was in hospital for a long time. I cannot recall how long. He was in a coma. I think he was in a coma for a few weeks, may have been in a hospital for a few weeks. He had to live with a colostomy bag for probably like 9 months or more. Like, girl, Matthew really went through it. Okay, he didn't have any children from my understanding. I don't believe that he was married, but I believe he could have been engaged maybe once or twice or something like that. So it's really sad because it appears that he is survived by his parents and his siblings. So, and it was just so unexpected. So I know it shocked a lot of people because he was a part of a hit TV show called Friends. Friends wasn't a show that I necessarily got into, but a lot of people watched and supported that show. And that show, I think, went on for 20 years. Do you hear me? Girl, I wish one of our black sitcoms could have lasted. I wish Martin could have lasted for 20 years. Hello, I wish A Different World could have lasted for 20 years. Hello? Girl, their thing just lasted and lasted. And the cast even went up against the production company because they felt like they weren't getting paid enough. Girl, if we would have tried something like that as a black collective, Girl, they would have been canceled our show on the spot. How dare you ask for more when you're only worth this because we said that you're worth this? Girl, a mess. But all in all, it ain't about that. It's about Matthew passing and him being a part of a show that will always be a part of history, and that is Friends. I believe that his character's name was Chandler, and a lot of people loved him. He was like the favorite, character for a lot of people on that show. So rest in peace to him and these gentlemen. It's crazy because when I hear about a person passing in like the entertainment world, I always think of who's next. I always think about, because I feel like they pass away in threes, and this is what I'm seeing here. You know, at a variety of ages. Okay, so Matthew was 54, Richard Mall was about 80, and I believe I'm trying to remember how old Shaft was when he passed away. I have to see. I think I might have to do a little calculation on my end just to get it like a rough age. So he was about 81, I believe it was, when he passed away. So that's just, that I wanted to go ahead and let you guys know that you guys can continue the conversation down below and, talk about what y'all remember from these people, what their favorite roles were for you all. You can put all of that down below in the comment section. Okay, let's go ahead and switch gears, and I want to get into Miss Kelly, honey. Let's talk about Miss Kelly because, of course, she's being asked about Destiny's Child and what's going on with it. Are they going to reunite? I know at one point people were saying that the website for Destiny's Child had been updated. So people have been watching it closely, like, oh my God. The website has been updated. Beyonce is performing in Houston. All of the ladies of Destiny's Child are there. Okay, primarily that's their hometown. I feel like Michelle Williams may be the only one that's not from Houston. But all in all, people started to just question, like, are they going to do some type of massive comeback? Like, what's going on? Are we going to get DC 5, or is this just giving DC 3? I would love a DC 5, first of all. Okay, first of all, whether Latavia can sing or not, we can't erase her. We cannot erase her legacy from the group, honey. Now, Farrah, baby, your legacy has been poof, pow, and gone for sure. But the rest of the ladies, knowing that they separated, Beyonce has taken shots at the ladies with Bow Down, BITs, and I'm a Survivor, and ain't no telling what other song she has, for them to still come back together. And I know LaToya Luckett has always spoke so highly of Beyonce in different interviews. She and Kelly Rowland, I'm just so glad that years down the line, they were able to come together, put differences aside, and just at least be friends enough to be able to take pictures together, hug each other, love on each other a lot. I feel like Matthew Knowles may have played a huge hand into the separation and breakdown of the group. You know what I'm saying? And although we always knew that it was for Beyonce to go off and do her own thing, her own solo thing, I don't think she was ready for that at the time that it happened. So to see that her group broke up, I'm sure they did a lot to her internally. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure she was just like emotional about that. But Kelly Rowland did do an interview with the Messenger, and they kind of asked her like, hey, what's going on with Destiny's Child? Are you guys gonna be doing a comeback or anything like that? And it seems like she I mean, basically what she wants us to get from what she said was that it's not true at this time. The only thing she really said, this is how she explained it. She says Beyonce is wrapping up Renaissance and getting ready for her movie. Y'all know Beyonce is releasing that Renaissance movie. It might drop in November. It was supposed to drop in December, but I believe she has some early releases coming to theaters in November, so don't quote me. But she has that movie coming out at the end of the year. She says that Michelle is in the thick of it, working on her solo projects. I do not believe that, but maybe she is. And then she says when it comes to her, she's also in her solo space because Kelly has been out here performing at different festivals, different opportunities. She's been out here performing on different stages. And when I tell you this lady is beautiful, when I tell you this body is right, girl, Kelly got it. Kelly got it. Kelly had it and will always have it. Kelly has high key been that girl. Okay. Beyonce may have been put in the forefront, and we do love us some Beyonce, but Kelly is that girl. And I'm just like, this lady. So listen, that's a bad woman. That's a bad woman. I feel like Kelly should be closer up there to Beyonce, in my opinion. as far as when you look at R&B, women. I feel like Kelly should be up there, likely still touring, still, putting out albums and stuff. But I feel like Beyonce's work ethic in comparison to Kelly's is just different. I think Kelly is A-okay with where she's at. I feel like with Beyonce's work ethic, she would literally drive herself into the ground to be like the absolute best at what she do, and not saying that Kelly doesn't, but I just think the work ethic may be like a bit different. Okay. But she also says that right now what she's more excited about, you know what I'm saying, is doing her own projects, doing her own solo stuff. Okay, that's what she said. So that's what she's most excited about. She feels like all of the ladies are in a good place for the most part. So she's like, should it be a space for them to come back together? Cool, they'll just have to see what happens. She said, but as of right now, I'm just excited and focused on what it is that I'm doing. Now, I feel like this. Y'all, Destiny's Child is gonna give us something. I don't know how long it's gonna take them to give us something, because Beyonce gonna need to take a break after doing this tour, but I do feel like Destiny's Child is indeed going to bring us something. If NSYNC can come together on that VMA stage and they get ready to rock this show and go on tour or something next year, you got Usher about to go back on tour. Like, girl, listen, it's time for the big nostalgia. So y'all go ahead and pull out the big guns. I think the ladies are going to hit us with something, and y'all already know whatever Beyonce is in, she does not like to, she's not gonna spill the beans before she's supposed to. She loves surprises, or at least surprising other people. So for y'all to sit down and ask Kelly these questions, y'all should know that if Beyonce is involved, she's not going to tell y'all too damn much. Okay, she might slip up, but intentionally that's not something that she's trying to do. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's just, that's that, girl. That's not something that she gonna be trying to do. But I want to see it. I want to see the ladies come together. I would absolutely love that 1000%. But I feel like this, you can take what you want from the interview, but I just kind of felt like she was just not really giving us a whole lot, obviously. But I feel like, girl, y'all working on something, bitch. I don't care what nobody talk about. Y'all working on something. Y'all just can't say nothing yet. But either way, girl, good luck. We shall see what the future holds with those ladies. Now, as we continue to stay on Kelly Rowland, I actually wanted to talk about a sit-down interview that she did with Victoria Monét. And Victoria Monét is hinting at the fact that these two ladies could possibly be related to each other. And I'm not surprised at her bringing this up to Kelly. One, a lot of people were doing a heavy comparison of Victoria Monét and Beyonce. Not saying she's on Beyonce's level, but you can see she has some of Beyonce's work ethic. And in enough time, girl, once Beyonce, hangs it up and sits down and retire or whatever, Victoria might be able to rise to where Beyonce's status at some point in her life. Who knows? Okay. So we see a lot of Beyonce is in Miss Victoria. What I really liked with the fact that she sat down and was able to tell Kelly this is the fact that a lot of people may feel like they are related to some celebrities, and you don't ever get the opportunity to tell them in their face how you're possibly related to them. And that's what I really liked the most about the sit down when she got ready to talk to her about it, was being able to tell a person that you look up to, a person that's in a place you aspire to be in, and let them know like, hey girl, we could potentially be fam.
That I recently found out.
What? We family. We family.
We could be. We could be. Because I think we're more, we're similar in a lot of ways, just as far as our upbringing. I met my dad for the first time in my 20s.
Really?
Yeah, we met at an Atlanta hotel.
Whoa.
It's crazy. And I found out that your dad's last name is Lovett, and my family's last name is Lovett. We have Lovett Funeral Home in Mobile, Alabama.
Lovett?
Yes.
Okay.
So I'm like, we might need to do a little 23 real quick, because your family's from the South. Yes. And I feel like
my heart is racing.
I feel like there's some things.
No, it has to be something.
Right?
Yes.
So
Victoria, that is wild.
It's crazy.
Are you serious?
Yes. So I have all of my music is under Love It Music Incorporated.
LOVETT.
Yes.
This is really blowing my mind.
It's crazy.
Whoa. So it's your dad's side.
It's actually my mom's side.
Your mom's side.
So, but just my dad, that connection was just the fact that we kind of went a lot of our years without our fathers present. And I just wanted to know you that I recently found out.
What? We family. We family.
We could.
All right, so y'all just heard a quick snippet of those ladies sitting down talking. Girl, first of all, I'm like, Miss Victoria, you got family out in Alabama? Girl, I don't know why I be feeling like a lot of celebs and popular people always got a root or somebody in Alabama somewhere. I don't know what it is. You know what I'm saying? Beyonce said my daddy Alabama. Okay. So I'm like, girl, somebody's always connected to Alabama in some type of capacity. But I would love to know, girl. Y'all need to do that 23andMe and let me know if you guys are connected at all. Let the people know. Are y'all connected? I would love to know that. That would be so cool. That would be so cool. Now, Victoria, if you happen to be connected to Kelly, I know you don't expect Kelly to do anything when it comes to elevating your career, okay? Because I don't think she's gonna have time for that the same way she didn't have time for June's diary, okay? So, just be able to use the bragging rights that you related to her. But outside of that, you're going to have to get it how you've been getting it. And I think how you've been getting it has been just fine. Okay. But either way, honey, good luck. All right. Now, next up, I want to talk about this couple that I absolutely cannot stand. Actually, it's two of them. Okay. Because he's involved in a throuple, honestly. Blueface. I am so tired of them, but I'm just going to run my mouth about them real quick, okay? We often talk about who and what we can't stand, all right? Blueface recently had a child with Chrisean Rock not too long ago, okay? He exposed the baby's hernia and things. It was very disgusting. I believe the baby has finally had the surgery. I feel like Chrisean needs somebody to check on her when it comes to that child. I just don't think she needs to be parenting by her damn self. Like, I don't know. She don't know what she's doing. And I get it. This is her first time being a mom, but she's trying to balance, I guess, being a mom and then being a character for social media. And I just really hope that, I was going to say that I hope that this baby doesn't experience any trauma, but the baby is experiencing it right now. So, girl, I hate that for that child. But either way, so she's been back and forth with Blue. You know what I'm saying? She didn't name her son after him. She named the baby after herself, which I actually like that she named the kid after herself and not his raggedy ass. Hello? I don't think he was really deserving of it, in my opinion. But it's crazy how a lot of people thought this man was the most problematic one. And they're learning that she's just as problematic as him. And I'm like, I don't know how the hell y'all didn't see that from the beginning. Okay, they feel like Chrisean is more problematic than Blue. Girl, they all a fucking problem. Every single last one of you raggedy bitches, all of them. Okay, now Blueface decided he was gonna propose to his baby mama, Jaden. Okay, a lot of people refer to her as Stewie, honey. She has been hanging on, just hanging on, even when he left her to be with Chrisean because it was more profitable for him or whatever. Girl, listen, he decided he was going to propose to her. I personally feel like he did that to get back at Chrisean. I don't believe that that's really what he meant. I think it was something he did to make Chrisean jealous. Jaden is all happy. She's eating it up. She's engaged to him. Then you got Chrisean getting online talking. And it's so crazy, y'all, because I really try not to be tuned into their stuff. But I have someone that always send me their shit that I really could care. I often skip over it. But even when I skip over what they send me, I will still see it on my timeline. You know what I'm saying? Or I'll see it on Twitter. So I might be like, girl, what the hell is she talking about today? So I might check in on it. So it's crazy that I know more than what I want to know. Because I definitely don't go searching for them, child. But anyway, so back to the point, Miss Chrisean decided she was going to get on social media to let people know that she's still smashing on Blueface, even if he is engaged, and that they can't leave each other alone and that she's not going to be leaving him alone. And I'm just like, you look so stupid. You just continue to look so dumb. Like, your priority really should be about your child, okay? I thought that she said something about wanting to have another child or whatever. I just don't know. This girl is just unstable. Everybody in the situation is so unstable. But the main thing I wanted to talk about was the fact that Blueface was caught out here at somebody's house party, all up on a whole nother woman. So Jaden, while you over here thinking that you done got a prize and you don't one up Chrisean or whatever the case may be, girl, you really got the same trifling NIGGA you had before the ring, before he got down on his knee and gave you that damn ring, because he's been all hugged up on some other woman somewhere else, embarrassing the hell out of you. So I'm like, girl, this is just this is a mess, okay? And he literally hugged all up on this woman, like all up on her ass, got his hands all around her neck and everything. And I'm just like, he's a big flirt. And y'all are in for a time, but I don't think Jaden cares for real. I think she enjoys being disrespected by him, and I think that she's going to continue to stay beside him. And knowing that she's the one that got the ring, she's going to be bragging on that for the longest. And I don't see them getting married. The only way I see them getting married is if it's for profit and if it's going to be filmed on Zeus, right? That's what I see, because he pulled this stunt with Chrisean. Didn't they get married or pretend to get married for a music video or whatever the case was? Girl, as long as it's for profit, that's the only way he'll walk down the aisle with her. But I don't believe anything about them is genuine. And I just cannot wait until the saga of Blueface and his ladies are completely over with. People be killing me how they love talking about how folks shouldn't put their business online and how they shouldn't do this and you shouldn't do that and toxic men this, toxic men that, toxic. But then y'all go up for this type of behavior every single time. And I don't understand. Like, it's like y'all praise Chrisean, Blueface, and Jaden all the time in the comments, and I'll never understand it, but then got so much to say about other situations that'll pop up in your face. But girl, if y'all like it, I repeat, I do not have to love this at all. So therefore I won't. Okay. So good luck. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is a video that I came across on the Neighborhood Talk. And on this video, it is a video of Yandy Mendeecees and the adopted daughter, Infinity. Infinity, personally, to me, and I understand that she's young, she's technically a kid to me, because I don't think she's 25. She might be 20 or something like that. So she's still growing, but she is a bit annoying. I do not like how she talks to them, and you'll see in the clip that I'm about to play. But there was a video, and first of all, they have this YouTube channel. So when you hear the different sound effects and all of that, I do feel like they overact. A lot of people that do these vlogs, they overact, okay, for the YouTube and to get the check and stuff. So some part of me is like, is this even authentic or what, right? Some of it gives fake, but some of it gives their real personality at the same time. So Mendeecees is asked the question about whether or not he sees her as his daughter. And she was a bit like hesitant, or at least he was a bit hesitant. And she kind of got fly with him, and I didn't like that. So it became this whole big thing, because I guess she wants him to see her as his actual daughter, right? And a matter of fact, I'm not going to explain it anymore. I'm going to go ahead and play it so that y'all can check it out, okay? And then we'll get into more in a second.
I wanted to ask Mendeecees, do you really feel like Infinity's your daughter?
Man.
Why you got your head down?
Cause to answer that question,
Don't get me tired.
nah, it's not.
That's why you like. What is it? Like, you was answering all the other questions fine, and now like, why your energy shifting a little bit?
Cause that's a real question. I mean, they always real, but I think to answer that question is like see, it's like,
Don't be weird. Just answer the question.
right?
You shouldn't have to think about that. If you consider somebody your child, then I'm your child, right? It's 1, 2, 3. You say it with your chest.
Wait, hold on. Why you being mad fast?
Nah, cause now you're getting me tight, bro. Like, what you like? You can't answer a simple question. This is the shit I be talking about.
Calm down.
No.
And give someone a chance.
But the fact that you're not even mine.
You know that he's
You
not
should
an
be able to-
emotional
That's
person
not fair.
or
That's
sentimental.
not fair. No,
He's
you
not
dragged it.
Even if I ask you, listen.
dragged
I
it.
need you to give me a second. Infinity, you gotta listen. Remember I told you gotta listen. Even if I ask him, tell me how you feel about me, he's gonna laugh. He's gonna front.
That don't justify it.
It doesn't.
hear that.
It doesn't. But that's the reality of who this person is.
Alright.
Those conversations are not easy for him. So you have someone who's feeling you hurt, You need to fix it. How you be having to fix it with me when you do this dumb, stupid face that you're doing right now? When I ask you, tell me how much you love me, you need to fix it. Because you hurt a feeling.
Yeah, I'm trying to. I said, listen.
But you gotta give him a chance. Give him a chance.
I was trying to choose my words wisely. I wasn't just trying to say, you know, what you want to hear. I was going to say absolutely, but I was going to give a reason to why I feel that way. You know how I feel, but you got to give me a chance. You can't just storm off and get emotional. You got to know how to control that. But I do. Listen, in the beginning, I didn't, but at the time, right now, it's been almost 4 years. Well, it's been more than 4 years. It's been 4 years since I've been home. But it's been more, like, almost 5 years of knowing you. So it was a process to us to bond and create that. That didn't happen overnight. So you gotta understand that. Do I feel today? Yeah. Before, no. But today, absolutely. And it took time. And one of the things about that is about respect. It's about bonding. It's about a lot of things. But you gotta control your emotions, because trust me, I'm not here to hurt you. And I'm not here. And I'm not here. And I'm not here to lie to you either. I'm not here to tell you what you want to hear. I'm not going to do that. I'm never going to tell you what you want to hear. I'm going to tell you the truth. But do I see you as my daughter? Yes, I do. A bonus daughter, I do. All right? I definitely do. Trust me, I encourage you to move in this house. If I didn't encourage you to move in this house and I didn't see you as that, then why would I do that? I love to support you, to continue to support you. So you gotta relax. Come on, man. Come here.
All right. So you guys just saw that. And I have a few things that I would like to say, that I want to get into some of the comments and how people responded to this particular video. Number one, the girl asked Mendeecees this question and he was slow to respond for me. And I felt like he kind of did it on purpose. I do understand that Mendeecees often talks very slow. You know, he has to like process what he's saying before he speaks. But some part of me felt like he was trying to like a little antagonize her, possibly, like, you know, because he said something, he asked her a question or said something to her. And I feel like, okay, this is giving, let me do a little extra because it's being filmed and I know it's going up on social media, right? I feel like he didn't have to drag it out as much as he did, but at the same time, I feel like maybe he was really thinking, because he don't see you as his daughter, okay? That's one, he trying to figure out how he could say it as nicely as possible, right? Two, her mouth, Infinity's mouth, is too fucking reckless for me. It's too fucking reckless for me, girl. I couldn't take it. And then another thing I didn't like how Yandy was over there talking to him like, you got to fix it. You got to fix it. You know how you fix it with me? You got to fix it. You know how you fix it? You know, like when you're looking at that, making that silly face that you give me, you got to fix it. And I'm like, why are you comparing how he needs to fix it with the child versus how he needs to fix it with his wife? I don't know. Maybe I was reading a bit too much into it, but I'm like, I think you should have said, you got to fix it. The same way you fix things with your other children, you need to fix this, you know? So I'm like, that's another, you know, let me see, point or whatever. That's another thing that stands out for me that shows why this man ain't really connected to her. And I feel like, Yandy, you know that, right? So, yeah, but this is what some of the comments had to say. Someone says, I feel like Infinity was forced on this man. Someone else says, just because Yandy created a bond with her doesn't mean he has to feel the same way. Someone says she do too much. She's not his child. He came home from prison to this almost adult that's low-key disrespectful, trying to force him to be her father. It's weird, okay? Someone else says, Infinity, let's be clear, sweetheart. Yandy brought you home, okay? Yandy brought you into her family while her husband was away. This man didn't know you, and more than likely, he still don't. Don't hate on Mendeecees because he feels the way he feels. That man don't owe you anything. Be grateful that you are where you are because of him and his wife. Stop trying to make someone say what you want to hear and not how they really feel. That would be dishonest of him. And from what I've seen, okay, Mr. Harris going to tell you the truth and nothing but the truth, regardless if it hurts you. But the man does accept you as family. Now move on, little girl, before you have this husband and wife duo going at it. That's not nice nor fair. Okay, they say some people just want every damn thing. Girl, bye, sorry, not sorry. Okay, so yeah, I kind of feel like for me, he doesn't have to accept her as his daughter. In my personal opinion, I really feel like he doesn't. And let me see what this other person says. I just watched this yesterday. I wondered if any blogs would post it, but he handled her and her attitude well. Mendeecees is a man of a few words, but he spoke facts, wishing them the best. Okay. I feel like he doesn't have to accept her as his daughter because that was something Yandy did. And ever since, Yandy has been forcing this girl into their life. And what's killing me softly is that Yandy, I understand the attachment, which is the reason why she chose to adopt her to begin with. But to try and make him feel like he never wanted her in the household to begin with, like from the beginning, I don't know. I feel like Mendeecees just goes along to make Yandy happy. And I understand that. Happy wife, happy life, whatever. But if he ain't connected to her, he ain't got to feel connected to that damn girl. He ain't even want her moving down to Atlanta, but Yandy, you kind of forced her in there. And then when you try to pull her away after forcing her on this man for so long and forcing her to be a part of the family and welcoming her into the family without taking Mendeecees' perspective or feelings into, consideration, when you tried to push her out, the girl showed her ass. And then now you bringing her back in. And the only reason why Mendeecees allowed her when he said, I told you to come stay here. I love helping you work it. Nah, he did that out of guilt. That's what he did that out of guilt, and he did that out of whatever Yandy decides. I'm gonna trust what my wife wants. But that man does not feel connected to her. Even if him saying that he does, I don't believe it. And he might. I'm just telling y'all how I'm looking at it. For me, I don't believe that he feels connected to this little girl at all. I really, really don't. But and for her to talk to him the way that she did, like he's supposed to be connected to her. No, she's a disrespectful little girl and always has been. And I would hate to throw into her face, like, and I wouldn't like, what her childhood was like, because she didn't get to choose her childhood. She didn't get to choose her parents. And now she's in this situation, where she has to go over here and love on them. And I be with Yandy now, but I'm just kind of like, your own parents don't give a, let me shut up. Girl, I just feel like I disagree. Okay. I disagree. That's Yandy's child, is what it's given. That is not Mendeecees' child. And that man don't feel connected to her. And I don't think that he should be forced to feel connected to her. But seeing how a lot of people responded to this in the comments and how they were pretty much giving a lot of support, I guess you will say, to Mendeecees, saying, oh, well, he never really wanted to have her. He came home to her after getting out of prison. So it was like she was already theirs without even having any say so, or whatever the case was. So a lot of people were giving support to Mendeecees. Well, I said that's interesting because I feel like a lot of people weren't giving that same grace to Sherri Shepherd. And I just kind of wanted to get like an understanding of why that was. I never knew the full details about Sherri Shepherd and the surrogate child that she had with her ex-husband, who she currently has to pay child support for. But I did come across a video where she kind of goes in depth and explains this situation. And for me, I do feel like Sherri shouldn't be entitled to be connected to a person that she also isn't technically connected to.
But you in a situation that makes everybody mad.
Yeah, I pay child support,
Do you see the baby?
Because the child's not biologically connected to me.
Right.
So what
you like, I'm not getting involved in that.
What people don't know, because you will never see anything other than a smile. I don't let you in on my private life. So what people don't know is every day we argue. Every day we argued about this. He wanted a baby. I did not want a baby because I have Jeffrey with special needs. I was tired.
Right.
And he was like, it ain't fair that you have a baby. Do you have a son and I don't have a son? And I mean, it literally, basically, he was like, well, if you don't have my baby, then... So when somebody do this,
right,
that mean I'm gonna go, and it was so public, our wedding, because he wanted to have it on TV. He wanted to have a big wedding, which the IRS is still auditing me for. And so it was just like, it was so public. It was an embarrassment. So basically, I had consigned myself to, okay, we're gonna have this baby and I'm just be unhappy for the rest of my life and have an affair. Because I said, well, how are we gonna take care of this child? Because I'm working 2 jobs already. I'm doing a newlywed game. I'm doing a view. And he like, we'll get a second nanny. How are we supposed to afford a second nanny?
Oh, I'm just supposed to work myself to
and
death.
And then I told him, because he was an out-of-work writer, and I said, well, you got to get a job writing. And he was like, no, because if we have a baby, I'm staying home. No, I don't do stay-at-home husbands. I do husbands that work. But he was adamant, I'm not going to Hollywood to get no job. I'm going to stay home. And, well, then how am I supposed to? Then that means I got to work. So people don't understand. We were having those kind of arguments every day. And then I got to go on the air and be happy. So I probably say, fine, I didn't pick the surrogate. I didn't pick the donor who had the egg. I didn't pick the gestational carrier. I was not involved. So when I finally put him out, because I found out he was doing all kinds of stuff, he said, and I said, well, I'll pay you $2,000 a month, $2,500 for your son. And if, if you need anything, if I'm working, I'll be the fairy godmother. I'll come, hey, Kevin, I'll come in here and I'll help you out. And then he was like, no, I want $10,000 a month. And he said, if your son go to private school, my son go to private school. And I said, but my son is in a school for kids with special needs. If he wasn't, he'd be open a public school in Jersey. So it was that kind of extortion stuff to people. And because God, when he was doing all the interviews, God was like, shut it down. So because God was like, don't talk, I never said nothing. So people don't know. Then, I go and they go, all my merchandise that I used to sell on the road, I had built up like 25 grand. So when my business manager was like, yeah, you got $200. So he took all the money out the account. So that's the kind of stuff people don't know. And for me, like, the baby doesn't know me. I put him out when the lady was 4 months pregnant.
Right.
It would be more detrimental to my son to have a relationship with a child that's not biologically his brother.
Right.
Nobody thinks about my son. They keep going, well, why don't y'all just, be a part of the baby's life? But the baby don't know me.
Right, at all.
He doesn't know me at all. We're not biologically connected. For me to try to build a bond with my son and this child, when he already has 2 siblings from my ex-husband who cheated on me and had a baby. Now, I do everything I can to keep their bond. But to open my son's heart to a child that's not his brother, it doesn't make any sense. So I think people don't understand that he wants to have a relationship so he can still be attached to me, so he can do a reality show, so he can, That's why it fought so hard to put my name on their birth certificate. Because I offered to give him a big lump sum. But right. I didn't want my name on the birth certificate. But he fought so hard because for my name to be on the birth certificate, he can still go to People magazine and say, Sherri ain't visited her son and we made this baby out of love and he's sitting here and he got a disease that's going to kill him. Which it's a blood disorder that 4 out of 10 black boys have. Then my son has the same blood disorder, but he plays it up for the media. So people don't know all of that. But we took it to the Supreme Court. And so, I pay child support and it's okay. Because if God, the baby didn't ask to be in this. No. And so if God is using me to be a financial blessing, then that means I'm always work. So it's a win-win.
Yeah. No, I know, but it's still,
But I have to take onus. You have to take onus for your part in the situation.
Right.
I married him out of fear. I had a fear that Jeffrey wasn't going to have a strong man in his life. I married him out of fear that I wasn't going to get married again. That, you go through that whole thing. Oh, who going to want me? Am I going to be married again? Now I'm fine. I'm fine being single. Before I was like, I got to be married.
Yeah, because you get to a certain age and you start getting scared. Like, who going to take care of me?
Yeah.
Am I going to just be working myself to death for the rest of my life?
Exactly.
Like, you said, like, I need somebody.
And then, girl, people would tell me, you can't have sex. You gotta be married. You can't be out here having sex. You gotta be celibate.
Because y'all want people talking about you. Your business gonna be in the street. Whatever.
The Bible say, 1 Corinthians say, if you lusting, you gotta get married. And I was like, okay, now I gotta get married to have sex. Geez, I don't have all that anymore.
Oh, okay.
So I needed that relationship to learn how to say, this is what works for me.
Yes.
So what is working for me, I know y'all say I gotta be celibate, but what works for me right now is my son about to get up in a couple hours. I need you to go. I'm okay with that, girl.
All right, so y'all just heard that interview with Miss Sherri Shepherd, and I never heard that story before. I'm not sure how old the interview may be, but I know I just literally came across it recently, like over like at least the last 48 hours. I came across this interview, and then next thing you know, I've seen in less than a few hours the Mendeecees video. So I was like, that's interesting. A lot of people giving grace to him, but wasn't necessarily open to giving grace to Sherri Shepherd. And I just feel like I don't even think she should have to pay child support, for that baby if it's not hers. And that's something he chose to do. But what has her messed up is the fact that I personally think it was done while they were married. So of course she's going to have to pay something. I mean, a lot of men are forced to pay for children that are not theirs because they were married to the mom. So it's like, okay, you're gonna have to pay for that one too. You assume responsibility, you gonna have to pay for that too. And my thing is, it's like, why would you say you would give him any money? Why would you say you would give him $2,000 to help out with the kid and you would be a godmother? Like, I would have never said no shit like that, because of course I feel like those words could have possibly been said in court and it was used against you, and now this man gets like 10 racks. And what's sad about that, and ain't no telling what else he gets from Sherri, but what's sad about that is how much is actually going towards the kid. Is the kid actually, with him having the blood disorder that he has, how much is actually going towards the kid to take care of him, how he needs to be taken care of? So I hate that. I give her grace, child. If she ain't have to pay it, I want to tell her to pay it. Why she got to pay for a child she ain't connected to? You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, no, that's what you wanted to do. You wanted to have this child. You went out, you found him, got you a surrogate, did all of that. I didn't participate in any of that. But Sherri, you should have been participating. And the moment he went to go get him a surrogate, you should have divorced him then. In my opinion, because I felt like that was that man setting you up the whole time. The same way he was over there researching, trying to find surrogates and gestational carriers and all this other stuff. He was over there trying to plot and plan on how he was going to screw you should you leave his ass too. And that's exactly what he did. Okay. And we hate to hear it. But y'all let me know y'all thoughts, and y'all might feel that it's a completely different situation. I don't feel that it's completely different at all, but that's just my opinion. Okay. So I don't think that she should be held responsible for any of that. Okay. But that's just me, girl. Let's go ahead and move on real quick. Dwight Howard, girl, what the hell going on with Dwight? Girl, what is going on with Dwight? So let me just say this. What's being put out there about Dwight is that Dwight has some SA allegations out there about him involving another young man. Now, his ex-girlfriend, baby mama, whatever, Royce Reed, has aired him out a very long time ago. She's already aired him out. She's talked about how he wanted her to be a part of a brothel or whatever the case was, or be a part of a group of women that he smashed on or whatever the case was. Okay, either do this or I ain't gonna pay you. Because I remember her going off about that this summer. And as more details are coming out, I do believe it. Last year when he was put on blast about being, gay and messing around with, a transgender woman, he denied that. He went as far as to do an interview to deny and say that he's not gay or anything. He's still saying that he's not gay. He's just freaky. And I want y'all to let that go. I want a lot of y'all men that like to dabble in other men, okay, and play in their private parts and stuff. Stop saying that you're not gay. And I hate it so much. I understand why they do it, because society makes it seem like it's just like this horrible ass thing. And the crazy thing is, most of the people that sit up there telling you that it's so horrible be the main ones doing it they damn self. But anyway, I want y'all to accept the fact that you're bisexual people. So yeah, you might not be gay, but you are fucking bisexual, and I need you to accept that, because I feel like that's homophobic too. You want to link up with somebody late at night and do your rendezvous and all that other shit, and then you want to come on the forefront and you want to portray a whole different type of person. I don't like that. I don't like that SHI at the all. Okay, so a lot of people are asking Dwight, like, are you gay? Are you gay? And it's like, y'all, we know that he is. He pretty much confirmed that he did link up with the young man. He just didn't force anything to happen, because I'm like, that's not the question. We know he gay. We know he bisexual, whatever the case. We know he enjoys his sex with men. The question is, did he SA this baby? Because that's what he on the line for. And that's what his ass gonna have to pay for. Okay. And I don't know all of the details, but girl, listen. I did hop over to Radar Online. And when I tell you, I had to type in the search engine. I just had to go ahead and type in Dwight Howard. And I'm just seeing that he has always been problematic, especially when it comes to women. We know the issue with Royce Reed. We know when she was on Basketball Wives, he put a gag order out on her. And now it makes sense to me why he did that. To me. So with Royce Reed, she couldn't say his name or really speak on him or anything as a parent, or really do a whole lot of nothing when she was on the show. But I don't think he was censoring her. This is just my opinion. This is not a fact. Okay. Just my opinion from the observation of the situation. I feel, and I'm looking back on it, I feel like he wasn't censoring her so she wouldn't talk about their relationship or their child. Royce knew more, obviously, than we did. And that is the reason why he gagged her, because he wasn't ready for the tea we're learning now about him to come out, because he's been into this for a very long time. That's what I'm gathering. Okay, he's had, custody issues, and what else issues? I believe child support issues dealing with Royce. He would always try to paint her out like she was the crazy person, and a lot of y'all was out there believing it because he was the star, iconic basketball player, or whatever the case was. And when we see her, she may be a loose cannon on TV or whatever. Girl, no, it be the ones that y'all think is the most polished up that be the most problematic as fuck. High key. Okay. He done went on, had a baby with some woman named Melissa Rios or whatever like that. He got a son with her. I guess that son name is David. I think that was the little boy that was on the treadmill that was working out, and he was like, "Oh, daddy, I can't." And he kept pushing him to keep going, keep going, keep going. Whew, girl, girl, I don't even see how y'all did it. I just don't see how y'all I don't see it. Girl, what? I don't see how what y'all found him to be. Like, how did y'all what, I'm trying to think of this other basketball player named Taya Cooper. Who did she date? I hope it wasn't Dwight. Yes, the fuck it was, y'all. It was Dwight. Taya Cooper used to date Dwight. I forgot. And they were engaged. I forgot they were engaged. Taya, what did you see in this man? And first of all, for him to go and hook her, like hook, line, sinker, and grab up Tia Cooper, because I was about to say Tay Hecker, but I'm thinking of Tia Cooper because she was also a basketball player for I felt like she played for LSU. And then I think she went to play for Los Angeles, the Sparks or something like that. But she was in the NBA. Then she just recently got released, I think, over the summer or something. They haven't invited her back. I don't know what else she got going on. But all in all, she was engaged to this man. And I'm sitting over here like, she's young. You old as fuck. Like, why? What is it about him that got you so, like, wrapped into him? And Taya, did you know what he was all into? What? And shout out to her. She ended up getting with Alvin Kamara, who's a football player, but I think they may be broken up now. They were too cute together. I thought he was more her stilo and more her age and stuff. But I'm looking at this, like when I would see them together, like, how the hell did you, girl, why would you choose Dwight? Like, what the fuck was that really about? Okay. That's crazy to me. But anywho, I am glad that they are over and they're no longer dating. But girl, and he gives off, I don't know if he is. I'm just telling y'all what he gives predator, but I don't know if that's what I don't know. Okay. I don't know. But all in all, what we do know is that, I believe this is the person here that accused him of some things last year. Was this last year? Okay, this was in 2019. Okay, Dwight Howard engaged to 21-year-old college basketball player Taya Cooper after accused of gay relationship with Masson Elijah. I don't even know if I'm saying the name right, but it's like, first of all, the girl is 21, fresh out of college. Like, what the hell? How did that even happen? Like, ugh. I was so glad when they broke up. I was so glad when they broke up. It was like a quiet breakup. And I was so glad. And I'm just like, girl, that man been into all of these kinks and everything. And you got engaged to him after these rumors came out about him being into another man. I mean, a transgender or whatever. Like if that's what he wants to be into that. But I'm just thinking about him moving recklessly. I hope those people that participated in acts with him were protecting themselves, if that makes sense, and that they weren't out here moving so recklessly. But I was just trying to see if this article may tell us anything about them. Let's see. Is this giving us anything? No, it's just showing us photos. So anywho, let's bounce back over here to Radar Online. All right. So even after the whole Taya, I don't know at what point he ended up having a son with Melissa, but he did. He had a son with her. So from my understanding, he only has 2 children. So do they have the date on when this occurred and how old that young boy is? I don't see the date on here. So I'm not sure how long ago it was. But anywho, He just got like a long-standing history. 14-year-old son revealed feud with NBA star during police interview over Royce Reed. The kid's mother, Royce Reed, surrendered on charges of neglect. This was like last year. Remember when his son was accused of violating her boyfriend's son? Telling the boy to beat his meat or something like that, like come over here and beat my meat or whatever it was that the boy said. It appears that her son allegedly was like violating her boyfriend's son, and they weren't supposed to be in the room by themselves or anything. And I really feel like I'm just gonna say I believe that his father Dwight is a strong influence to the actions that he may have bestowed upon somebody else. Okay. But that's just my opinion on that. Now, Basketball Wives star Royce Reed goes on tirade against ex Dwight Howard, claims he asked her to be matriarch of a polygamy quest. I believe that. I believe that he propositioned her to do that in an effort to get some type of money out of her. I do. Let's see what they're saying over here. I'm just trying to see if there's anything. Let's see. All right. In the process of being great, it's going to be laughs, frowns, smiles, tears, blood, and sweat. But that's what is needed for us to succeed as individuals. Okay. I'm just teaching my kids what it's meant to be. Okay. Reed followed up with a comment on the Shade Room post and addressed the previous child neglect charges. She pled not guilty, I guess, but she was also trying to put it off on him, like he's the reason that a lot of what was happening with her son was happening. And a lot of people clowned her for it because they was like, nah, but your son is with you. And she was like, how, when he was living with his dad or something like that. So a lot of people was coming down on Royce. And then now, girl, the roosters have come home. What they say, the birds, the chickens or whatever have come home to roost or whatever they done came home to do, girl. That's what they done came home to do. And now we see that Royce wasn't fully lying this whole damn time. Girl, if this ain't a mess, I don't know what is. Okay. Now let's see when this came out, because I think this one dropped because this story about Dwight being out here in these streets doing whatever he'd been doing, girl, this been happening. Like I said, 2019, he was called out for his antics. Earlier this summer, he was called out for his antics. Okay. Let's see. Ex-Lakers star Dwight Howard sued for assault and battery by man he allegedly met on Instagram, accuser using text as evidence. Okay. And this was from July. This was written July 19th, 2023. Okay. They're saying Dwight Howard has been slapped with a lawsuit accusing him of assaulting a man he met on Instagram and attempting to force him to have a threesome. And here we are months later where this story is coming back up and it's pretty big. Okay. It's bigger than what it was this summer because nobody really talked about it. Now, according to court documents, all right, they're saying a man named Stephen Harper has filed a lawsuit filled with wild claims against the NBA star, including alleged assault and battery. And listen to me. It appears that the young man is coming with receipts as well. That's the other thing for me. They say in the lawsuit, Harper claims he reached out to Howard on Instagram back in 2021 via his second Instagram account, the secondary one. Okay. He claimed that he received the phone number by way of that. And Harper claimed that Howard responded to his Instagram message by texting him the devil emoji. And that's how the conversations got started. All right. So as you can see here, these are some of the messages. Now, during the conversation, Howard allegedly asked Harper who he was messaging, to which Harper responded by providing his name and sending Howard his main Instagram account information. Now, after viewing Mr. Harper's primary account, Howard indicated Howard indicated that he was waiting on Mr. Harper to send photos. Harper claimed Howard told him he was into freaky sexual content and that he wanted to see Mr. Harper's nudes and his cum shots. Ooh, child, this is messy here. Now, the screenshots of the alleged convo also show Howard telling Harper, now I want you to know I'm not like gay or anything. I'm just a little nasty sometimes. I don't want to offend you. What? Baby, then you bi. You're bi. You're into that. You're bi. Okay. And these are just some of the messages. or whatever. They're saying that Harper said the conversing went on, which led them to talking about meeting up in the summer. Okay, so from May of 2021 through July of 2021, Mr. Harper and Howard continued to exchange text messages, several of which included explicit content like photographs and videos and stuff, right? So the suit said Howard contacted Harper on July 19th of 2021 to tell him he was thinking about that meet. He allegedly told Harper he wanted him to come to his Georgia home. Now, Howard allegedly Dwight told Stephen that his son was asleep, but he was alone. The Wild lawsuit said that Dwight told Stephen he would have to leave before the son wakes up. Okay, before everybody gets up, you're gonna have to go. So Harper said he took an Uber. Okay, Stephen took an Uber over there to Dwight's house while he was in Wright. He claimed that Dwight texted him asking if he wanted to participate in a threesome, and I guess the guy was like, "Well, a threesome with who?" He was like, "A guy or a girl," which like either or. Like, what are you really into? Okay, so then now Stephen said he did not wish to have a threesome, but he showed up at the home. I can imagine so if you already on your way there. Unless you're gonna tell the Uber to go ahead and turn around. I feel like the person could have been starstruck or whatever. Like, okay, this is an NBA player. This is Dwight. Da got money. I'm not gonna turn that down. Woot woot woot. But that doesn't mean they went over there with the intent to mess around in a threesome. You know what I'm saying? So he claimed the two went to Dwight's bedroom where they removed their clothes and engaged in, kissing and stuff. He said they talked for about 40 minutes or whatever, and then steered the conversation back to a sexual one. So they had a conversation about the NBA or whatever they talked about. Then it went back to sexual. All right. Now, Stephen said he noticed that Dwight was on the phone with somebody, and a few minutes later, some man arrived dressed in a dress or whatever and called themselves Kitty. That is some interesting. I believe I believe the victim in this is crazy. And the reason why it's so easy for me to believe the victim is because I feel like these were things that Royce would drop about Dwight and his personality, his mannerisms, how he is, and just seeing his actions. Like I think that he thinks he can control a lot of stuff. So I don't know. I just hearing stories from Royce about this man, and now hearing this from this young man, this person accusing him. I'm gonna say this is not too far-fetched. Okay. So they said the suit alleged that Dwight wanted Stephen to have this threesome with Kitty. He claimed to have told Dwight he wanted to leave, but the person convinced him to stay. Okay. Dwight told him, no, don't stay. But Stephen wasn't done with his wild claims. Okay. He claimed that Kitty turned on a Pinot. Okay. And they started watching it. And then Kitty started giving Dwight head. Now, Stephen said he felt uncomfortable, but attempted to just, like, let me just remain calm. Like, okay, probably stuck. Like, what the hell? Like, this is some crazy shit here. Like, what? Now, they also said that Dwight began to rub on Stephen and start stroking him through his underwear. Girl, this is some messy stuff here, girl. This is some messy stuff here. Now, Stephen said that Dwight, he said he looked at Dwight and he shook his head like, nah, like, no, I'm good. So despite him sitting up there, protesting and saying, nah, I'm good, he said that that's when Dwight began to get a bit more aggressive. Whew, girl, this is crazy here. He said, now Stephen says that Dwight told him, I'm going to do whatever I want and you're going to like it. Listen, people, this is problematic. Listen, people, you can't do whatever you want and then tell somebody that they're going to like it. This is where you cross the line, buddy. This is where you enter new territory. Okay, this is no longer consensual if what this man is saying is indeed true. Okay. So he claimed he feared that Dwight and Kitty would harm him if he resisted those advances. All right. I'm sure any person would have felt that way if you're gonna sit up there and just be like, I'm gonna do whatever I want to, and you're gonna like it. Because they didn't say that with a nice tone. You know what I'm saying? And then you on their territory, you on their property, you don't know their house layout, you don't know, like, this can go left real quick. So you're gonna want to cooperate. And I hate that. That's like that feeling that person may have. I just hate that they had that feeling. Now they said that The defendant stood up, towering over Stephen, grabbed Stephen by the thighs, and forcefully removed his underwear, and then held him down and performed consensual head on this young man. And then Stephen was in fear of imminent bodily harm when he was pinned down and forced to remain in place while Dwight continued to essay him. Now, Harper said Howard stopped after he realized Harper was not being aroused by it. He claimed he was ordered to come to Howard's bed. Girl, this is some mess here. Now, the suit alleged once there, Kitty anally penetrated Dwight. Girl, what is going on today? What is going on today? While Howard grabbed his head and shoved his penis into. Oh, wow. So while you're being penetrated, you grab the head of somebody else and put your head in their mouth. Girl, this is some, yeah, you is into some freak shit. Like, girl, you is the wilding over here, honey. Now, hold on. Now, Stephen claimed after the men were finished, he immediately put his clothes on and called an Uber. He said he felt extremely violated and humiliated and was in complete shock. Baby, in the suit, that is wild. Harper claimed he tried to leave the home, but Stephen claimed he tried to leave the home, but Dwight demanded Kitty drive him home. The lawsuit accused Howard of assault, battery, intentional infliction of emotional distress, and false imprisonment. In the past, Howard has not been gay despite accusations, and this man has 5 children with multiple women. And you know what the gag for me is? I wouldn't be surprised if it's more men out here doing the same exact thing that he doing. And okay, they got a coin like him and into this type of behavior and doing those type of things. And I'm not saying you do whatever you want to do in your bedroom. You just need to make sure that everybody is on board and you're not over there trying to force somebody to do what the hell it is you want them to do and then telling them that you gonna like it. Okay, that's not how that's supposed to go, sir. That's just not how that's supposed to go at all. Girl, this right here is some messy girl. So then I guess the boy done leaked the text messages where he was asked about whether he wanted to have a threesome. Read Dwight's alleged explicit text messages with the male assault accuser. Oh wow. Let's see. Sup, sexy Nan. You just started my day off. About to shower in a few. I got you. What you have planned for today? You in ATL? Yeah, we play today. Yeah, I stay in ATL. Been doing some modeling here in Chicago. What about you? Okay, so they just having, a little conversation. Dwight says, I want more. I guess after he sent him photos. The guy says, I got you, Poppy. Also, what are you into? Dwight says, yes, I'm into freaky SHI. Now, I want you to know I'm not like gay or anything. I'm just like nasty sometimes. I don't want to offend you. So the guy sends video and images, okay, to Dwight. Dwight sends slob emojis, basically drooling emojis over the images and video that he received. So it's a lot of back and forth. And see, this is why Dwight had to come out and admit that he is indeed into that stuff, but still denying that he is gay. Y'all need to start just asking him, are you bisexual? Like, stop asking this man if he gay. Ask him if he bisexual. Maybe he'll answer that. But it's clear as day he's admitting that it went down. He's just denying that anybody was assaulted. But the reason he's admitting that it went down was because there's receipts to it. Period. It's receipts. So, girl, this man, like, girl, I mean, he just got all kind. I'm not gonna click on all these articles, but he just has like a shit ton of articles over here on Radar Online, and Radar Online has been on his fucking head. Girl, are these the police reports? What is this? Read the police report Dwight Howard's accuser filed before suing NBA star over alleged essay. Girl, and this is from October 26th, honey. Child, now the baby, they reported on this, like I told y'all, back in July of 2021. Okay. The report filed on July 15, 2022 listed Dwight and another man named Kitty as the suspects. Baby, I can't wait till Kitty is exposed. I can't wait till Kitty is exposed. But Steven, why are you listing yourself as Dwight Howard's ex-boyfriend if it wasn't really that y'all were exes? You know, so I have to bring about some questions when I see that in this article saying the report filed on July 15, 2022 listed Dwight and another man named Kitty as the suspects, and Stephen Harper listed himself as Howard's ex-boyfriend. So my question is this: did y'all go on to continue to date? And then after the breakup, you decided to use that very incident against him to sue him and press charges against him? Or was that just a quick one and done, but you feel like it'll sound better in paperwork by saying you're his ex-boyfriend? Something about that is a little off for me. Okay. I'm just, listen, that's how any opposing attorney will look at it. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody trying to victimize the victim or whatever the case is, but I'm just drawing some things that's making me question what the hell really going on, the motive and all of that. Because we still don't know if this is true or not. We can believe that it is or whatever, but we don't know. All right. Now, as we first reported earlier this year, Harper sued Howard for alleged assault, battery, intentional infliction of emotional distress, and false imprisonment. All right. Now, in his complaint, Harper claimed to have met the ex-Lakers star on Instagram in May of 2021. Harper said they exchanged sexually explicit texts for weeks before Howard asked him to come over to his mansion. And we pretty much got into all of that. But here is more of the report. Stephen Harper advised that on July 19, 2021, he was essayed by his ex-boyfriend, Dwight David Howard. He advised they had been in a long-distance relationship for a couple of months. He advised he came to Georgia and visited Howard at his residence located at such and such. Harper advised at first they were just hanging out, watching TV and kissing each other. According to Harper, around 5 a.m., a friend of Howard came over to the residence. Such and such, aka Kitty Sankofa. Harper advised Blank was a male but was dressed like a female. He advised Howard and such and such wanted a threesome with him, but he told them he was not going to have a threesome. He advised that they then put on PORN and were sitting next to his feet, undressing each other. Harper advised Howard. He advised that Howard then began rubbing his leg, grabbing his penis, according to Stephen. Okay. He told Dwight to stop and to leave him alone. And then Stephen advised that Dwight then became demanding and pulled his underwear off him and started performing oral. Now, Stephen advised that Kitty ended up penetrating Howard from the back as Howard put his peen inside of Stephen's mouth. Girl, this is some wild shit we just got into, but this is coming directly from the report, honey. Harper advised Howard then, ejaculated after the incident. Girl, Harper advised he took his phone and went into the bathroom to call an Uber and advised Howard to, but then Dwight told him he needs to cancel that. All right, and that he had Kitty drive him home. Now, according to Harper, such and such advised him to keep everything a secret, or someone will put a bullet in his head. Now, girl, we didn't get to this part here. Now, he advised, I guess Kitty drove a minivan, but was unsure of the make or model. Now, Harper advised he has not had any contact with Howard since then. I provided the case number to Harper. Further investigation is needed. So that's where I'm like, that wasn't your boyfriend though. You say that's your ex-boyfriend, but it really wasn't your boyfriend. I know y'all talked for a few months, but y'all talked for a couple months, long distance, before you actually went there. That was not your boyfriend. Okay, cool. So this person is not being vindictive about anything. This person is being very honest. And I feel like if they say you did it, the verdict is indeed out, but I am leaning on the side of the victim with this one. I really am. But I just wanted to come to y'all real quick with a piece of a video. With a piece of the video just showing you guys what all was really going on over here. Because this is crazy. Girl, this right here was some crazy stuff, girl. You guys can go ahead and hop down in the comments and let me know your thoughts about everything that we just talked about when it comes to this matter at hand. I am Jamie, that's me. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share my videos. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Jamie, that's me. And I will catch you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.